We'll take questions, Coach.
What was wrong at the plate tonight, or what was difficult for your guys with that reliever for the final 5 innings or so?
I mean, I can't speak for them. We didn't harp on it out there. We always have a meeting on Wednesday and then we practice, so it'll come up. But I mean, from my point, it was pretty evident. It was just a bunch of spin, and our guys kept chasing. He obviously landed enough, for strikes too, but a ton of them were not in the zone, and our guys for whatever reason seemed to be in a big hurry. But again, I'm not up there, so some guys throw a breaking ball and it either looks like a fastball or it looks like it's going to be a strike and it ends up not being a strike. Can't speak for them, but it certainly was a repetitive mistake. It appeared to be guys being in a rush and then obviously chasing down in the dirt.
Jarrell thought it was all approach and nothing to do with the bats. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think what you're going to get out of the bats is you're going to get, someone's not going to pop a cheap one, or, you maybe get a few more slower hit ground balls, but it's going to downscale the score of the game. So to me, maybe you could make the argument if there's aluminum in your hands, you lose 6-5 instead of what it was. But yeah, the approach was not very good. And overall, there was just decisions starting from me, scattered throughout the game. Players and coaches, probably would like to go back and redo it, but you don't get to do that.
Do you think this venue or this many fans maybe played in the guys being rushed?
I don't think so. I mean, it was a little quirky when we showed up. I mean, everybody kind of went in a different spot, and we ended up not being able to take BP on the field. So other than, kind of not having a regular pregame or what the pregame was mapped out to be, I think the guys were excited for something kind of different, as far as the wood bat goes. And then we played in front of it almost an exact same type of situation in Chattanooga in the fall and then here in the spring. So I think, you give credit to Tennessee Tech for how they played. And then, our guys, I'm not a big fan of one of those nights is a phrase I think you can throw out the window. I wouldn't go that far. But, a freshman doesn't know to let that ball go through, so the shortstop can, field the ball and throw the guy out. And then we had another mistake in the inning where they scored 2 that, again, if you go back, you would definitely redo the pitch there that you'd throw. But I wouldn't say anything quirky like that. We got beat regardless of where we were playing or what bats we were using.
Having to come from behind late like that, it may have been a while since y'all do that. Did that maybe lead to some of the pressing, perhaps?
I think, the fans are hooting and hollering, and the guys in the dugout are yelling, and it's kind of a different setting here. A little taste of what it's like to be in pro ball. The park is more spread out. You don't hear things quite as accurately or as quite as well. But yeah, I would just say the thing we'd go back in time and do is, the second guy of the 9th inning there, you take a strike, which that's probably on more frustration stemming from me not relaying that, or us not relaying it to him, or him not doing it. So again, we haven't gone over any of the fine points of the game, but I think we just need to be a little more patient if we're down 1 late in the game. But otherwise, I think, the game from first inning on, if you're watching, with a wood bat, it's going to be a little tighter. It's going to be a lot less room for error.
Coach, 23 wins in a row, and you guys finally lose one. How do you bounce back and refocus after, kind of let down in the middle?
Yeah, I think you focus on the 1 loss instead of the 23 wins, if you ask me. I'm a coach, I'm not a player, but when I was playing, I dang sure didn't like to lose. So if this doesn't wake you up out of bed tomorrow morning, probably not with a good feeling or a good taste, but wake you up wanting to play some baseball, then I don't know what will. It's overused, but Coach Heupel's group loses a game, they got to sleep on that thing for a week. Obviously, you get back to preparation, but we've got a game right around the corner against a really good SEC team that's, I don't know how they did tonight, but they're obviously hitting their stride.
How do you keep those hitting, approach, all that stuff? How do you keep it as kind of the aberration, not the norm, moving forward?
I think with anything, you don't want to repeat mistakes, and so that's what I think I talked about with John yesterday on the radio was, if you're trying to determine when you peak as a player or as a team, that's not really going to work out because the results. I mean, I don't know what our best score was early in the year, maybe against Iona. I think we scored 29 or 30. We should have just called it a year right then if you're going to go off the scoreboard. So it's not about peaking or finding the best results. It's about finding things that you need to improve upon and make adjustments so you don't repeat mistakes. And there's going to be some mistakes that are repeated, but the ones you have control over with your effort and making subtle adjustments, they got to stop as you get deeper into the year. And then if you get into May and June, you got a whole Rolodex of things that you know you're good at, and then things you improved at or kind of corrected, and now you're a really dangerous team at the right time of year.
One more.
Tony, it's a bit of a cliche, but sometimes some people say that when you lose, it's a little bit sharper, a little bit easier to learn from a mistake, or you focus on it more. I mean, are you a believer in that?
I would, we got a 30-minute bus trip back, and not 1 minute will I be thinking I'm glad we lost. So I can start with that. But I will say, I've several times when we've met with the guys kind of said, I get it, you guys are, happy with the result, but we didn't do this right, or that, so it's hard to point out mistakes or get their attention, and you're certainly not going to win a game and then go out in right field and hoot and holler and be like, you guys are crazy. I don't know what coach, I don't want anyone to get mad at me, but you're not going to go Bob Knight on them losing to Purdue after a win.
Thanks, Coach.